Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Royalty Cut here, and in today's tutorial I'll basically be teaching you how to cut and sew an off-shoulder dress with a long sleeve. If this is a video you're interested in, please watch to the end, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also turn on your notification bell to be notified whenever we post a new video. So for this tutorial, basically I'll be making use of this Ankara fabric you see over here, and I have about 3 yards of this Ankara. But if you're for a smaller size, you can actually go ahead and use 2.5 yards for a short sleeve. But due to I'm making a long sleeve, I'll be needing about 3.5 yards. And I also have about 1/2 inch elastic band that will be attaching to the chest area of this dress. So let's start with the tutorial. The first thing I'm going to go ahead and do right now is to fold this fabric into 4, because we'll be cutting the front piece and the back piece together. So technically, after folding the fabric into 4, just like I showed you earlier, this is into 4. Now the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do right now is to go ahead and impute the measurements. Now remember that this is an off-shoulder dress, and every measurement we'll be taking from will be starting from this 2 folded edge and not from the side that has an opening. So this is a off-shoulder dress, and we'll be minusing some inches from the upper body to actually get it. So the first thing I'm actually going to go ahead and do now is to mark a line that will be serving as our starting line or our shoulder line. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Now this line will be serving as our chest line. The next thing I'm going to go ahead and do now is to place my tape 5 inch above this line. Just like I said earlier, it's an off-shoulder dress. Now you can actually go ahead to do 6 inches, but the more lower you go, the more revealing your chest area is going to be. So for me, I think 5 inches is going to be perfect for me. So I'm going to go ahead and place my tape ruler above 5 inches. So the length of this dress that I'm working with is 38 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark 38 inches plus extra 2-inch allowance for the folding of the down part. Now, after marking the full length of our dress, the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do now is to take my biggest round body measurement, which is my hip round measurement. My hip round measurement is 42 inches. 42 inches divided by 4 is 10.5 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead and be adding extra 10 inches to the 10.5 inches. That will be giving me 20.5 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead and measure in 20.5 inches. Marking the 20.5 inches all the way down to this chest area, I'm just going to go ahead and get my shoulder to shoulder measurement. Now the shoulder to shoulder measurement that I'm working with is actually 16 inches. So I'll go ahead and divide 16 inches into 2, and it will be 8 inches. So after getting your shoulder to shoulder measurement divided by 2, just go ahead and add extra 7 inches to the number you got. So for me, I had 8 inches. Adding extra 7 inches to it, I'll be left with 15 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark 15 inches at this chest area line, just like you see me do over here. Now, after indicating the 15 inches at this point, I'm going to go ahead and measure my armhole measurement. My armhole measurement is also 16 inches. So dividing 16 inches into 2 will also give me 8. But remember, we already subtracted 5 inches away from our upper body. So I'm also going to go ahead at this point that I marked the shoulder measurement, that I added also 7 inches. I'm going to be placing 5 inch at this point and marking my armhole measurement divided by 2. But at this time, I'll be adding extra 1 inch to it because we'll be folding 1 inch for us to get a passage for our elastic band. So I'll be adding 1 inch for the elastic band, and I'll also be adding extra ½ inch for us to be able to join the sleeves to the fabric. So in total, I'll be left with 9.5 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark 9.5 inches here, and I'll go ahead and use my curve ruler to connect it. Now, after connecting it all the way down to this chest line I have here, at this chest line I have here, I'm going to go ahead and subtract 4 inches away from the full measurement that I got here. So I'm going to go ahead from this point, I'll go ahead and mark in 4 inches here. Now, marking that 4 inches, this is for us to be able to create our armhole curve. So from this point, I'm just going to go ahead and use my curve ruler to create my armhole curve, just like you see me do over here. Now, after that, this is the armhole that we are left with. Now, the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do right now is to, from this point that I have this armhole curve, in a vertical way, I'm going to go ahead and connect it all the way down to the measurement that we marked earlier here. So just watch the way I'm placing it. Just like you see me do over here in a slanted way. So after marking it, this is what it is looking like. As you can see already, it is giving us a circle form. Now, the next thing I'm just going to go ahead and do right now is to cut this out. So technically, after cutting this out, this is basically what is looking like, as you can see. So opening this up, I have something like this, and we have about 2 pieces here, both the front piece and the back piece. So I'm just going to go ahead and place this aside for us to cut the sleeve. For the sleeve of this circle dress that we are making, I went ahead to fold my fabric into two, just like you see here, because we'll be cutting the left and the right side of this sleeve together. So I folded with 14 inches on fold. Now, the more inches you add to your 14 inches, the more gathered is going to be when you attach your elastic. Now, you can choose to actually go ahead and add more or add less, but I think 14 or 15 inches should be a perfect number for you to get a more gathered sleeve. So how did I get the 14 inches? I just went ahead to divide my round armhole measurement, which is 16 inches, into 2, sorry. I divided my round armhole measurement into 2, and it was 8 inches. So I went ahead to add extra 6-inch allowance to my armhole measurement divided by 2. So that was how I got the 14 inches. So this is 14 inches on fold, and for the length of my sleeve, I'm working with length 25 inches. Now remember also that we subtracted 5 inches from our upper body, so we'll be doing the same thing for the sleeve. So I'm going to go ahead and place 5 inches from this starting line and measuring 20 inches. Now my sleeve length is 20 inches, so I'll mark 20 inches, but I will be adding extra 2-inch allowance to this 20 inches, making it 22 inches in total, because we'll be using 1 inch to fold the upper part of this sleeve for us to be able to insert our elastic, and we'll also be using 1 inch to fold the down part of this sleeve in order to attach an elastic to it too. So this extra 2-inch will be serving as our elastic casing. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut it this way. Now for the armhole of this sleeve, the only thing I'm just going to go ahead and do now is this fabric, the main piece that we cut out earlier, I'm just going to go ahead and fold it again into 2, just like you see me do here, and I'll be placing it on the folded sleeve at the end. Now make sure that this part that you're placing it is the side that is open and not the folded edge. So I'm just going to go ahead and place this armhole that we already cut out for the men's sleeve by the side this way, making sure that it is equal at the top and also at the sides. Now, after placing it this way, making sure that it's corresponding, the next thing I'm just going to go ahead and do right now is to use my scissors to trace this out, just like you see me do here. So after tracing it out, I'll just go ahead and remove this main fabric that we have here, and I'll be cutting it already. After cutting the sleeve armhole out, this is what I have left. So the next thing I'm just going to go ahead and do now is to separate the two pieces. This is our right sleeve and this is our left sleeve. So for each of the sleeve, at this armhole part that is open, not the center part, I'm going to be using about 1 inch to join the sides closed, and I'll be doing the same thing for this other sleeve. Then for the main fabric too, I'll be using the same 1 inch that I used to join the sleeve to also join the sides of this our dress, starting from this armhole cuff part that I have. So after joining the sides, just like I told you earlier, with about 1 inch for both the main fabric and the sleeve, I'm just going to go ahead and turn the main fabric to the right side, just like you see me do over here. So after turning the main fabric to the right side, I'll also be turning the sleeves too to the right side. Don't worry about this, there's no light, so once they bring the light, I'll make sure that I use the hot iron to remove the tag. So after turning each piece of this fabric to the right piece, this is what the sleeve is looking like, as you can see. So for each side of this dress that we shaping this way, I'm going to go ahead and open up the armhole area. Now opening this armhole area, this is what it's looking like. Now I'm going to go ahead and take one of the sleeves and make sure that this shaping line is actually matching with this same shaping line that I have at the main fabric. So I'll just go ahead and place it this way and use my pin to secure it. So with about half of an inch that we added while cutting it, I'll be joining this sleeve to the main fabric with about half of an inch from this center part all the way down to the chest area of this dress. And I'll also be doing the same thing for the left side, and I'll also go ahead and attach the same sleeve to the other part of the dress. I went ahead to attach the sleeves, just like I told you earlier. This is what it's looking like. It's not yet making sense now, but very soon it will be looking very beautiful. So after attaching the sleeves to our dress, the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is this neck area, which is the chest area. I'm just going to go ahead and fold in the 1 inch that we added earlier for our elastic casing. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold that 1 inch in, creating room where our elastic will be passing from. So I'm going to be sewing it all the way around, but I'll be leaving either any part of the chest area, I'll be leaving about 1 inch opening for where our elastic band will be coming out from. I don't know if you understand, because we'll be using an office pins to pass through the elastic casing. Now make sure you leave a space where you'll be bringing your elastic out. So after I went ahead to fold the chest area round down the sleeve, just like I told you earlier, this is what I have left. And also remember that I told you to leave about half of an inch or 1 inch where you'll be removing your elastic out from. So for me, look at the part that I left the opening that I'll be bringing out the elastic for. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do now is for the band that I'm going to be inserting around the chest area, you go ahead and measure your round shoulder measurement. So for me, my round shoulder measurement is 45 inches. So I minus 10 inches from the 45 inches, giving me 35 inches in total. So I went ahead to cut out 35 inches. Then for the sleeve at the down part, I had to cut out this band that is 10 inch. So for the both of them is 10 inch. Also note that while cutting this band, I did not draw it, like I just had to measure it and cut it. So for inserting the band, you'll be needing your office pin this way. So at the end, I'm going to be attaching it to the end of this piece, and I'll just go ahead and put it this way. Now for the neck area, I'll be passing through that opening that I told you to give earlier. So I'm just going to go around and impute this band. While doing that, just make sure you hold on to this end so as not to lose it. If not, it will be very difficult for us to be able to pull our elastic. So after that, the next thing I'm just going to go ahead and do right now is to tie this band, just like you see me do over here. I'm just going to go ahead and tie it together. Now make sure that you double tie it for it to be very strong. If not, it will be slipping away after you finish sewing in that part that you have. So I'm just going to go ahead and tie it this way as you see me do over here. Now after that, the next thing I'm just going to go ahead and do now is to cut this band out. After cutting the band, I'm just going to go ahead and put this band inside and top stitch on that open part that we opened earlier. So that's what I'll be doing for the upper body, and that will be it. So I'm also going to go ahead and impute this band at the sleeve part, and I'll go ahead and cover up the sides and also fold the down of this fabric, and that will be the end of this tutorial. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also turn on your notification bell to be notified whenever we post a new video. See you in our next video. Bye.